Today we learned how to complete some assignments using CK12. So from your Google Classroom, we are going to navigate to the Classwork tab because this is the best way to view our assignments. Any assignment that is grayed out has been completed, and ones that are bright blue or bright colored, depending on the color scheme of your class, are going to be assignments that need to be done. This is a demo assignment, so I'm just going to click on this one because we did the other ones in class. And all you have to do is click on the title bar, and then it drops down this quick view, and you can click on the link in the quick view. You will have to sign into CK12 using your school email, and I'm going to use Josephine because she's a student, and we'll give you the student view. It is possible that you will also have to grant permissions to CK12 to access your Google Classroom. Make sure that you click Allow at the bottom of the dialog box if it pops up. The first box that pops up is going to be your text assignment. So CK12 is an interactive textbook, and by interactive, I mean that some things are clickable, like these green vocabulary words actually link to other articles discussing these topics. There are illustrations. There may be manipulatives embedded here that you can click and drag and kind of play around with to understand a concept. There are times when you will see vocabulary words that are underlined with a dotted line, and those will, if you hover, will populate a definition for you. Unfortunately, I haven't come across any today that had one of those. These review questions are sometimes assigned as a Google Docs assignment, but right now we're focusing on doing assignments that are CK12 practice assignments. This one also does not have a video embedded in it, but a lot of times there will be videos to help with the topic embedded within the text for you to click on and learn more. We're going to click on Start Practice in order to complete this assignment. And you'll see that a little sidebar pops up, tells you it should take about 2 minutes to complete this practice, and you have to get 10 correct answers to complete your practice goal, which is 100%. And you just click on Start Practicing. You'll notice, and you click on Start Practicing again, it says start by getting 10 right and then continue practicing as many questions as you need. So the questions get harder or easier based on your progress, based on how you're answering questions. And when you need it, you can get a hint or use the scratch pad to help you solve a problem. We typically don't need the scratch pad in science class. You'll notice that the practice assignment takes up the entire page, and we no longer see the text. You should be reading the text before you attempt the practice so that you have the information in your mind as you go through the questions. It actually takes more time to try and find the answers in the text than it does to just read the text through and then answer the questions. There are questions that require you to fill in the blank. And for these questions, spelling does count. So if you need to refer to the text, you can click on Google Classroom again and this link, and it will populate the text again for you. And if you would like to see those side by side, you can click on this tab and pull it downward to make it into its own individual box, and then minimize that so that you can still see the text window. We can adjust the size of this so that we are able to see a little bit more. You'll also see down here, this little guy gives us a hint. Which of these have the highest frequency? So let's see, the question Blank are the most energetic of all electromagnetic waves. So which have the most energy? The hint says which of these has the highest frequency, because high frequency equals high energy. So waves that have more energy are always going to have a higher frequency. They are directly related to one another. Frequency and energy, that is. So I happen to know that gamma rays have the most energy, and I'm going to put that in. If you get one wrong, it's going to tell you to give it one more try. And whether or not you can answer on the second try is going to impact, let me just open this up, your skill level, because all the while you are answering questions, CK12 is tracking your answers and the difficulty of the questions it's asking you. Sometimes you'll be asked the same question more than once in a different way. This is just to assess how thoroughly you understand the concept. So we're going to try again. So all of the above, and we got it correct. You can see that our skill level has populated to beginning. And as we go through, you can see that this is a fill in the blank. Gamma rays can destroy living cells, produce gene mutations, and cause, what are we looking for here? Unregulated cell growth is cancer. Now you see how the meter has gone up, our skill level has gone up. You can get skill levels from beginning to exploring to intermediate, proficient, and mastery. I'm going to stop for now so that I can show you some concluding steps that you need to take when you're working on these. After you have completed your session, you're going to see a page that's similar to this. Our skill level is here. We have 3 correct with 2 in a row as our best streak and have spent 4 minutes on this practice. This number here is the one that's going to get synced to Google Classroom and end up being your grade on this assignment. So you must at least answer questions to get this number the best you possibly can. After you've reached 100, it's possible to continue practicing to increase your skill level and go beyond 100% in this section. You can't get more than 100% in class for your grade, but you can definitely get better at understanding the content by practicing more. Once you have satisfactorily completed this assignment, you want to turn it in. I'm going to turn it in with this grade right now because Josephine's not a real student in this class, so it's kind of inconsequential what her grade is. It asks you if you're sure you want to turn it in because we have less than 100%, and we're just going to say yes. Now that we've submitted it, we can see that we've turned in this assignment on this date and that this was the last score that we received. Up until the time that this grade is put into PowerSchool, you can go back and bring your grade up until it reaches 100. All you have to do is keep practicing, raise this number, and click Turn In again. By clicking the Turn In button, you are sending the information from CK12 to Google Classroom. It's very important on CK12 to click the Turn In button because this is the only way that I can see your progress on these assignments. If you don't click Turn In, this is going to show as an incomplete assignment for you. And even if you mark it as done, I have no score to record in the gradebook. So please make sure you're clicking the button at the top of the page to turn your work in. And then if we return to Google Classroom, oh, now it's logged me out. we can see, where's Josephine? It kicked Josephine out of Google Classroom and put me in there. You can see that Josephine's grade for this assignment has been recorded as 30 out of 100. So it was turned in for her. And that's basically how you do an assignment on CK12.